I'm interested in your experience, because
Yes.
you've had thousands of lifetimes like all of us. Why do you keep coming back, and why do we all come here?
Yes. So that's one philosophical question.
Yeah.
And I'll answer it.
Sure.
And we can, keep talking then more, that what is the nature of the universe and what
Okay.
is the nature of this and that. But all that is not as useful. You can try to gather all that information, but it's not really useful, because what is more important, what is happening in your life, in this present moment.
Right. Instead of asking why is intellectual, and it's like, what's actually going on here?
Yes, because many people, they may be able to get the answer from me why we keep coming back. But how is that going to help them? People are, suffering from anxiety, depression. They are not happy. They feel like they're trapped.
Right.
And I'm more interested in telling that how they can find lasting happiness, not, that 1 second happiness and then again an eternal chase.
Right. Because why doesn't matter? Because here we are. Let's at least have fun and be happy.
Yes.
But I am interested in why, my mind. If you
I'll come back to that answer.
Okay, come back, because I also want to know how.
Yes. So let's talk more about how.
Okay.
So first step is becoming aware of the present moment. And knowing that in the present moment, you have a choice to create. You have choice to fill this present moment with happiness, with laughter, with bliss, with kindness and compassion. And you also have choice to fill this present moment with depression, with yelling, with anger, with cruelty.
Right.
And so that's the second step. But it all is possible in the present moment only. You cannot do all these things in the past, that's gone, and you cannot do it in the future. The future is not here yet.
Right.
So all you have is the present moment. You have to become conscious of that. Once you become conscious of that, there's a second step. The second step is you have two choices. Either you act unconsciously, which means you allow whatever is happening to happen.
And you allow your inner realities to take over. If you're angry, you act it out. If you're, so.
Yes,
yeah,
just
that's a choice.
unconsciously, whatever is going on, you are, trapped in that. And if you are unhappy, you just play out that whole thing and become more and more unhappy.
Right.
And if you are excited about something, you play out that and that.
So that's one choice.
That's one choice.
Okay.
Then you have a second choice, which is more of a conscious choice. And that conscious choice is that, in this present moment, regardless what is going on, because when you will become present, you will not only become aware of the emptiness of the present moment, along with the bowl, you will also become aware of what your bowl is full of, soup or mud.
Yes.
So if you're conscious, then you can ask yourself this question: what do I want to fill this present moment with?
And then we have a choice.
Then we have
because
a
we can
choice.
fill it with anything we desire.
But many people will say, well, I do want happiness in life.
Yes.
I do want to enjoy in life. But Swamiji, I'm trapped. This is a good philosophical suggestion. Here I am, I'm present, but how can I become happy?
Okay, yes.
So there is the second step of the practice.
Okay.
And that is that stop chasing your idea of objective reality that is going to bring you happiness. And use this technique of transcendence. Use the meditation, which will help you to connect with that innocent self, where that knowledge is already there, which will tell you what will be the next best way to celebrate this present moment. Just like a kid already knows.
So what is that practice?
So that practice is the second practice we teach in our meditation courses.
After we finish staring at the bowl.
Yes. So, well, and that's just one practice of being...
from that.
So that's just one way of being present. And you see, in that present moment, you actually became aware of all your limitations.
I have.
And one of your limitation is that the moment you start looking at something as an empty bowl and it's not stimulating, it's not feeding your desires
Right.
or your conditionings of nervous system, then you just start to feel sad and you say that, oh, I'm limited, and you're limited by that experience of sadness.
Yes,
or frustration.
Or frustration, yes.
So how do we transcend it?
Yes.
Well, we have a technique to do
Okay,
that.
great. I knew
So
you had it.
my teachers, they taught me this technique where it's a very simple natural method, and you use a beautiful sound,
Okay.
and basically this is, for thousands of years, the same analogy have been given down, and it works. It's if you imagine an ocean, and on the surface there is all this turbulence, and the waves are just messy and all that, and sometimes they might be making very nice movement, and sometimes they might be making a very messy movement and a scary movement, like in a storm or something. But that's just the surface, few hundred feet, or maybe sometimes just few feet. The ocean is miles deep. You dive in, you transcend the surface, and you go deep in, and it's full of gems and just peace and calm and tranquility.
Let's go there.
So,
let's
so that's a course we are offering, and we are offering it for free. Through our effort from Inner Revolution. We have a movement called My Inner Revolution.
Oh, right. This is your organization that you travel around the world and teach people about that.
Absolutely.
But
so this is a movement our organization has started.
It's called Inner Revolution?
It's called My Inner Revolution.
MyInnerRevolution.com?
Yes. .org.
.org.
Yes.
But give me a little taste of the ocean.
So a little taste of the ocean is very simple. What we will do maybe after we are done with the interview, that I will spend some time with you, and I'll teach these techniques to you.
You want to give me a little taste on the so other people can have a taste? And
well, it does take,
some time.
a little bit time learning it. Doing it only takes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
But
you can do it by yourself once you have learned it.
Okay.
But to learn it, you will have to, take at least 4 little classes with me, and I give them for free. So
you give them for free?
Yes.
So when's the next one coming up?
Whenever we'll do a personal one for you.
Okay,
and
but for people watching, if they want to, or go to your website, right?
Yeah, they can go to the website, and we constantly, keep hosting, different events at different places.
All
and,
around the country and the world.
Yes, and we came up with a new thing. Many people, they can't make it to these events because of the, they are busy, they're caught up in whatever they're caught up in, financial, problems. So we are trying to use this internet technology and bring this course in their home. They can actually sign up for this free course, and they can learn the art of being present and then art of transcending. And it's going to be a wonderful course, and it's free.
Great. Okay, so that's the second step, and then there's, of course, there's more to your teachings. And
Yes.
I mean, you're only 25 years old, right?
Yes. Well,
In this
if
lifetime.
25
Well,
years old.
only because, I'm sure your teachings and your scope will keep expanding, and you'll keep, right? You're here to learn, getting back to the question of incarnation. You're also evolving. Or have you reached a place where you've come back, having achieved, and now you're here to just like a kind of bodhisattva?
So looking at the time and the space in a linear manner, you can say, that reality, the surface reality, is constantly evolving. And I think the superficial expression of all of us is constantly taking a new form. So that, that empty space isn't boring.
Right.
It's new
every
celebration.
minute,
Every minute is just new.
Yes.
But if I was to answer the question, more seriously there are 2 things. One, we are not old at all. You are not old, I'm not old.
None of us. Nobody.
We are just, if we have to say that what is our age, we are a moment old at the most.
Okay, I like
but
that.
But we can't say old at all because it's always there.
It's always present.
Yeah, so
we're presently present.
Yes.
We're ageless in the present.
Yes,
I
we
like
are.
that.
We are ageless, and we are immortal in the present moment.
Yes.
So that's one thing
That's
to know about.
Okay, I like
And
that.
the second thing about, in terms of, you say that what more is there to learn and teach? Well, my masters, with their blessings, I was awakened to this present moment.
Was there a moment that you went from unconscious to present conscious?
So, relatively speaking, yes. If you look at from the linear perspective. But
I'm just curious because I always like to ask people that moment where they woke up.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
The moment was always there.
Of course.
It's almost like asking, how many pounds you love me?
How many pounds?
Yeah. Can you tell me how many pounds you love me? We are using a wrong unit of measurement. So.
Okay.
So, awakening has happened, or the experience of awakening happened. Yes, it was happening all the time, and I'm aware of it. And now that I'm aware of it, I realize I was, beyond time. The awareness and this experience.
Like all of us, though,
yeah.
right?
Of course, like all of us. But here's the thing: being unconscious can be a journey within the time frame. So when you are trapped, being unconscious in this field of time, then that's very real. But once you wake up, you realize you were always out of it.
Right.
So that is a shift, but it's hard to measure it with the scale of time.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So your teachers, though, there was a second part that your teachers came to you and they gave you a mission, or they wanted you to do something. Your lineage, let's say, and you can talk about what that means.
There are lots of missionaries, and there are a lot of people. They have an agenda, and they keep doing, and I'm sure more will come. And we see the world is getting messier and messier. So I'm not in missionary business.
No, but you're from the Shankaracharya tradition. Talk about what that means, because it's an ancient lineage.
I am from that tradition, and that tradition has a very simple gift to give. And that gift is that if you want to wake up, we can help you wake up. And it's a simple process. If you want to celebrate life, then we have infinite number of ways to celebrate life and bring coherence in life in different ways.
Okay.
So yes, I want to help people to wake up to their full potential, to experience unsurpassed happiness and bliss in their life, and that's.
I want that too.
Well, then
let's
I'm here,
celebrate.
and
Well, let's celebrate.
let's celebrate.
Okay,
yeah.
how do we do that? Just being. We're celebrating now.
In this present moment,
Yeah,
we are
we're
celebrating right now.
We're
yes.
celebrating.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. That's simple. It's that simple. I know it's that simple.
It is simple, but you see, since childhood, every child that is born, they are conditioned like a lab rat, that you to experience happiness or something, you have to go through point A, point B, point C. So you get conditioned that way, and that becomes a natural state for your nervous system. So you are simply locked in that frame, and being simple seems hard.
Yeah, no, I know.
So we do have very specific technologies and courses and teachings that can help you to transcend all those little cages, all those little boxes that you find yourself trapped in, and so that you can wake up to your own emness, your own existence.
So how important are the Vedas, the ancient sutras, because India has an incredible tradition about, spiritual technology almost, and yet we can almost throw that all out when we're present. So how do you, we have this great past and we have the present moment where we don't need anything. Or how do you work that? Yeah.
So the term Ved means the field of absolute knowledge. You really can't throw it out because it's eternally there. It's absolute field of knowledge.
But all the books and all the mantras and all the,
Yes, so here's the thing. You have your DNA, right? You have all these cells that have a copy of it. You can completely burn away those cells. That does not mean that the intelligence that was encoded in the DNA, you will be able to dispose of that. So Vedas are something you can get rid of because they are just eternal field of this absolute knowledge. They are timeless. They are nitya apaurushaya, so they were not created. They were cognized by people, and they were recorded and written down by different seers as a signpost. It's more like a finger that's pointing to the moon. It's saying that that's possible, and it's
don't mistake the finger for the moon.
Yes.
That's the old saying. It's like, that's the problem with religion, though. Everyone worships the religion and they forget that it's just the finger pointing to the moon.
Yes, absolutely.
So I get that. They're tools. These ancient teachings are great tools by great teachers.
Absolutely. And they have, very specific, technologies in there. Any imaginable, limitation that you can think of, they have a solution there for it. So you can use it to wake yourself out of it. But before any of that can happen, my masters along the path, they transferred this infinite ocean of knowledge and techniques. They basically need to wake you up. Once you wake up to that reality, it's all available there.
They transferred it to you?
Yes.
Your teachers transferred. Like, how did they do that?
Well, as a 4-year-old, you go to the ashram, and that's what they do.
How did you end up at ashram at 4 years old? Did your parents send you there?
Yes. My parents were Vedic Brahmins.
They were so you're Brahmin.
Yeah. So
you're not allowed to eat with Westerners,
That is, again, an objective understanding of that tradition.
Right, a very fundamentalist.
It's a very limited perception of it.
Your family were Brahmin, which is the priest class, and
the term itself, again. You want to know what a Brahmin is? Ask a Brahmin like me, and I'll tell you what Brahmin is.
What is it?
Brahmin means an individual whose life expression is a snapshot of the totality of the Brahman, and it is not something to be proud of, or a title, or that gives you a status.
It's not an ego thing.
It's a life's path. It's a responsibility. That is a path. It's a way of life, which is basically committed to the knowledge of the absolute and acting from that field of knowledge, which basically means that act as enlightened as you can, and of course, to be able to act enlightened, you have to find enlightenment.
But your parents brought you there because they were Brahmins and they wanted you to be in that tradition and understand. Did they expect you to have an awakening? Because most people don't. They become Brahmins and they say the prayers and they're still automatic. At least the Brahmins that I've met, but
Yes, the Brahmins, the true definition of Brahmin is called Dvija, which means second born. And they say that by birth you are just born as a living organism, and you have the potential to become a Brahmin, and for that you have to take second birth, which is basically the second birth as this enlightened being, waking up to your true potential. So that is the directive principle for every human being. You can become a Brahmin if you want. Anybody else can become a Brahmin.
Wow.
So they sent me to the ashram just following the same principle. And my grandfather was disciple of Swami Brahmananda Saraswati, who was also the teacher of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and Karpatri Maharaj, and many other people. And so it was, I guess, very natural and normal for family to send me to the ashram. And I'm very grateful to my family, my parents and grandparents, that they sent me there. I had a very wonderful childhood there, and yeah, I'm just very grateful.
So what do you think of all these Western people that are waking up, like Eckhart Tolle and Byron Katie and, you know, Adyashanti? I mean,
It's only when you are unawakened you identify with things like I'm a Western, I'm an Eastern, I'm this and that.
Right.
And for the language sake, we can use that, you know, so that people can understand what we're talking about. But when you wake up to that reality in that moment, there is no such thing, you being a Westerner, me being an Easterner. The external stops to matter,
yeah.
and the internal awakening is the same. And there is simple, you know, symptom of that, and which is that once you wake up to this reality, you have a sustained, unsurpassed experience of bliss, that you just are every day, every moment feeling blissful, regardless the external scenarios. It's not that you become oblivious to what is happening external. You are able to, you know, discriminate actually more clearly what is coherent, what is less coherent, what is, you know, happy, what is sad, but it doesn't affect your inner state of bliss, which in turn allows you to be able to live as a more effective, more exuberant human being.
Right, but what do you think? Are these people awake to you? I mean, because it seems like there's a lot of people, and I think we're in a time of awakening. That's how I see it. I mean, do you see it that way, or you don't judge it at all?
I'm more interested in knowing and helping people who want to wake up. And those who have woke up, they are woke.
You don't have to
like,
work with them.
yeah.
They save their time. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I just want to, you know, basically celebrate my present moment and life's potency, helping people who want to wake up to this ultimate reality of life, which is just so much fun, so much bliss.
It is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is fun. It is, but so getting back to that question of why, is it just, I mean, why people incarnate, why we incarnate, why, I mean, you know, if you want to answer that.
So the term incarnation, or this thing about incarnation is this experience of incarnation is born out of ignorance. So, and that can ultimately also lead you to affliction. So,
affliction?
Affliction.
Right.
So, if you talk about the relative reality, a limited reality where people are not awake to the total potential of life,
right,
and they are trapped in this one little bubble. Think about a fish which was supposed to live in the entire ocean, but somehow got trapped in a little air bubble, and that's all it knows.
Yeah.
So even though it's in the ocean, it's trapped in that bubble.
Right.
So from that place, yes, it becomes very, when you're looking at life linearly that way, reincarnation makes sense. But when you wake up to life, you end up realizing that life is not what happens between birth and death. It's quite the opposite. Birth and death and many other things happen in life, but life is just this eternal continuum. And it's not a philosophical thing. It's a real, tangible experience you start to have when you wake up to that.
Well, I like that. That redefines our human potential, because we don't see it as incarnation. We see it as consciousness, existence. Birth, death, life, you know, it's all the oneness of being. That's the eternal flow of consciousness. The Chit Ananda, right?
Yes, Satchitananda.
Yes, Satchitananda is the...
So the eternally blissful, you know, the absolute consciousness. And that's who we are, truly are. And it's, see, it sounds very complicated, but it is so easy to experience it. And I'm really interested in and inviting people to experience that.
Well, we're experiencing it now. You can't
Yes.
invite them to experience because they're experiencing it whether they want to or not, right?
Well, consciously experiencing it, because
Consciously.
otherwise these may sound like empty word. A person who has a broken leg, a person who is
Yeah.
facing cancer, they are very locked in that
Right.
reality, and they are the person locked in a room with no keys. So to them, that is very real.
So what do you say to those people who are having a hard time? You know.
To them, I say that take this course that we are teaching, mindful transcendence, and it will surely help you to overcome any limitation that you are experiencing in life.
I mean, it's great that, but even without the course, can you help those people? To say
Yes.
help them, because that will even get people to the course more if you give them something now.
So I'll give them the secret of yoga.
Okay, perfect. I was waiting for that.
And it is very simple, very easy.
Okay.
The first step is become present, the Atha Yoga Anusasanam. And how you become present is very simple. Just tell yourself that in this present moment, I'm going to become present. I'm going to rest my awareness to this present moment. And this is not going to be a mysterious experience. It's not going to be light flashing in your eyes or, a million things happening. It will simply feel like that you are present wherever you are, and whatever is going on, you will simply become maybe a little bit more aware of it. That's the first step. The second step is making a choice in that present moment, which is Yoga Anusasanam. So here's the thing. If you want to, I'm not saying that you must choose bliss, but if you want to experience bliss, then the path of yoga is the way to go. And how you do that, you don't have to do all these bendy postures and things. I mean, they are fun and they can help you in certain areas of life. But yoga simply means integration. So in that present moment, tell yourself that I am going to choose a spirit of integration. Whatever I will do in this present moment, I'll make sure I do it out of a spirit of integrating. And that is the second step. The third step is, of course, taking an action. And for that, I'll give you 6 simple things. So there is an action part and there's an attitude part to the action that follows that resolve in your life. And there are 3 simple principles for that action to be potent, and which is that you have to have timeless commitment. So whatever it is that you choose, whatever it is that your mind tells you that, well, the next action, if I want to create integration, will be this, then commit to that. Have a timeless commitment to it. Then be consistent with it. In every present moment, just be consistent with it. Anything you do, be consistent in that direction. And third is have reverence towards the process, towards that action, towards yourself, and towards that present moment. So that is how you make that potent action of integration. Now, there is an attitude that will help you to be able to have those 3 things. What are those 3 things? Timeless commitment to that action of creating integration, and consistency, not like stopping, just continuously doing it. And the third is reverence. But to be able to do that, you will have to become indifferent, because otherwise, every time you choose, I'm going to do this good thing or this thing here, what comes in the way? You say, well, life happened. Well, something pulled you or pushed you from that direction. Because when I ask you to become indifferent, you may say, well, if I become indifferent, then why do I do anything? Well, become indifferent to the push and pull of like and dislike. Whether you like moving forward in that direction of integrating action, the unifying action, or whether you don't like it. And by dislike and like, I mean whether it feels comfortable or uncomfortable. Just don't let that be the guiding factor. Make friendliness, compassion, and a happier reality for yourself and for everyone else. And if you follow those 3 attitude principles, and you follow the principles of action, which is timeless commitment, which is continuity and reverence towards the process and towards yourself and to whom the action is being done, that will surely free you from any kind of a limitation. You just have to put it in practice. So that is the nutshell of it. It can
Thank
be done in many different ways, whether it's by doing karma yoga, doing the charity work, or whether it is by just doing your simple practice,
Right.
or just living life.
What's your organization? How do we find it again?
It's called Nishpati Foundation.
How do you spell that?
NISHPATTI.
Nashpati
Nishpati
Foundation.
Foundation .org.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the foundation we have.
And Swami Ji will be traveling around the country and the world, talking
Yes.
about your teachings and your.
Yeah, they're not my teachings. They are simply the teachings of the Absolute, and I'm just a channel.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
your
Thank you.
time and
Yes.
presence of mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jai Gurudev.
Thank you. Thank you for the empty bowl.
Yes.
No, it's your empty bowl. I have a lot of my own empty bowls.
It is your empty bowl if you want
No,
it.
they're all my empty bowls. Oh, every bowl is my empty bowl. But no, I don't need your empty bowl. But I just say thanks for watching New Realities. I'm here with Swami Brahmananda. And it's awakening.